Is this great or what? We're here in the zoo's African Veldt barn. This is Dawn Strasser, who runs the zoo's nursery, with a 2-week-old baby bongo antelope named Kushinda. Kushinda is a Swahili word for courage. Now, most baby mammals at the zoo today stay with their moms, but sometimes if the moms don't take care of them, Dawn and her team step in and they feed them from a bottle for a period of time. She's growing up fast, though. She's nearly 50 pounds at 2 weeks old. Pretty soon we'll introduce her to other females. She sees them through what we call a howdy door, but soon she'll go in with them, much like you did with baby Gladys, the famous gorilla. But every day, Dawn brings her over. She comes over. She can get a weight, because this is a scale, and determine how much she weighs, and that helps us monitor her health. But she takes a number of these bottles a number of times a day. And what's funny is I said, well, do we have really fancy formula for a bongo? And Dawn said, no, we have whole milk from UDF. I said, well, don't you need fancy formulas for a bongo? And she reminded me that bongo antelope are first cousins of cattle. They are considered bovine, along with eland antelope and others. So they'll drink regular old cow's milk just like a cow would, or a calf. But she's fantastic. And what's amazing is she seems to be okay even though strangers are in here. I guess food's the incentive on that. So every day after they get the weight, Dawn will take her back in that way, and that's where she actually sleeps. Let's go take a look. So the baby walks through this shift gate that they're able to close to keep the animals so they can move them side by side and then out onto exhibit when they go outdoors. But this is where Kushinda sleeps at night on this soft bedding. That's the door she looks through at the adults. And pretty soon they'll be together, but can I try feeding her? Yeah. Now, Dawn, while I'm doing this, you've raised a lot of babies at this zoo. How long?
Been here 30 years raising babies.
Isn't that great? And I know you're famous for gorillas and others up in the nursery, but hoofed animals too. Oh. You know what's funny is when you said she's actually a cousin of a cow, look at that face. That face, even though beautiful with these markings and stripes, the face looks a lot like a calf. It really does. Yeah. You're an absolutely fantastic animal. What about these ears? Do they grow into those ears?
They always have big ears.
Golly dog, that is crazy. Bongos are forest antelope, so they don't live out on the Great Plains with the zebras. They live in the woods, but in countries like Kenya and headed towards Central Africa. And they'll sometimes even range up into mountain areas. The stripes help them stay hidden a little bit. When they're youngsters like that, the moms will leave them, and they'll instinctively know to stay quiet so that leopards don't find them while the mom goes out and forages for food and then comes back and nurses. Not a lot of zoos breed bongos. Not a lot of zoos have them. So we're excited that baby Kushinda's here and that Dawn's here to help take care of her. Next time you come to the zoo, keep your eyes open at the African veldt. If it's warm enough out, you might see her, and if not in the spring, you surely will out with the other animals.